Hello everyone, my name is Ajinkya. I've been living in Germany for almost more than 3 years now. 3 years, or it's like about to be 4 years recently. I wanted to share my experience because I think my experience would be very helpful for the people who wanted to come to the Germany in the future. So if you are coming to the Germany, so that you can already be preparing yourself to what you can expect in here. I would like to share some good aspects and not so good aspects of living in Germany, and also how to deal with not so good aspects about living in Germany. To be honest, like when I say like not so good experiences, they are exist in every society. ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है कि वो सिर्फ जर्मनी में है and you will not find it anywhere else. And about not so good experiences, ऐसा नहीं है कि वो सबके लिए not so good experience हो सकता है. ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि you might like those experiences. So it's just my experiences. So I don't want it to generalize, or I don't want to say कि everybody feels in the same way. Everybody has their own experiences. Everybody has their own journey. Having said that, let's start this video and let me tell you my experiences. I will put on the timestamp in the video so that if you feel that you wanted to skip to that certain part, you can just go there and check. The things that I'm gonna cover in this video are the weather, education, my initial experiences about living in Germany, bureaucracy, finding internship and job, how has it been after that, the cost of living, the social fabric of Germany. So why do I want to even cover weather aspect of it is because before I was coming here, I've seen so many videos where people were saying that if you don't like the cold weather, it's better that you don't come to Germany. And I used to think like, oh, what dumb thing to say. Like, just because you don't like cold, how can you say that you should not come to Germany? I still have the same mindset that just because you don't like the cold, you can't come to Germany. It's a false statement, but you need to consider that Germany is mainly a cold country. तो सितंबर से लेके ऑलमोस्ट मई तक वेदर यहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा कोल्ड होता है, एंड दैट पीरियड ऑफ टाइम सर्वाइविंग हियर इज लिटिल बिट डिफिकल्ट. तुमको डिप्रेस फील होता है, यू डोंट वांट टू डू एनीथिंग. सन गोज डाउन एट 4 in the afternoon. 4 बजे अगर जब पूरा अंधेरा हो जाता है, देन यू सी ओके इट स्टार्टेड टू डॉन अपॉन यू. थोड़ा सा खराब लगना शुरू हो जाता है. बट द थिंग इज देयर आर वेज टू फाइट इट. यू नीड टू सप्लीमेंट योरसेल्फ विद द विटामिन्स. तुमको एक अच्छा तुम्हारा डेली स्केड्यूल मेंटेन करके रखना चाहिए. व्हेन यू डू ऑल दोस थिंग्स, देन इट्स नॉट डिफिकल्ट टू डील विद दैट काइंड ऑफ वेदर. द यूरोपियन समर इज ऑफ कोर्स a legendary thing. The weather from May until let's say late September, it's really good, and that weather is really beautiful. So regarding the weather, 8 months, I think I would consider like 8 months are very cold, and you need to be very disciplined in this months. I've seen so many friends of mine, they get depressed and they don't know what to do. Every winter I will try to learn one kind of a skill. So I think like if you use it correctly, even the winter can be helpful for you. So yeah, weather can be a little bit harsh from October until the May, but yeah, there is ways to deal with it. Another thing, even when you live in the small cities, you have like a proper infrastructure. कि तुम छोटे से छोटे सिटी में भी रह रहे हो ना, तो भी तुमको इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर completely available होगा. For example, I like to do like gymming, bouldering, और आई लाइक टू गो टू स्विमिंग पूल. और मैं बहुत बड़े सिटी में रहता भी नहीं हूँ, फिर भी ये सिटी में सब टाइप का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर अवेलेबल है. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है जो मेरे को अवेलेबल नहीं है. इंडिया में तो मेरे लिए ये प्रॉब्लम ऐसा होता था कि आई एम द पर्सन हु लाइक टू लिव इन द स्मॉलर सिटीज़, राइट. व्हेन यू लिव इन द स्मॉल सिटीज़, यू डू नॉट हैव द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर अवेलेबल. कि रोड्स उतने अच्छे नहीं होंगे, या फिर स्पोर्ट फैसिलिटीज़ नहीं होंगी, या फिर एजुकेशन उस लेवल का तुम्हें नहीं मिलेगा. बट जर्मनी में दैट थिंग आई रियली लाइक. इवन इफ यू गो टू स्मॉलेस्ट ऑफ द सिटीज़, स्मॉलेस्ट जहाँ पे मतलब बहुत कम पॉपुलेशन है, जगह उतनी ज़्यादा छोटी नहीं, थोड़े बहुत ही घर है, बट वहाँ पे भी तुमको इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पूरा मिलेगा. वहाँ पे जिम मिलेगी, एजुकेशन अच्छा होगा, यूनिवर्सिटी होगी, रोड्स वगैरह तो सब जगह पे प्रॉपर होते ही होते हैं. दैट्स लाइक यू आर लिविंग इन यूरोप, एंड वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट इकोनॉमीज ऑफ द यूरोप. रिगार्डिंग माई फर्स्ट ईयर इन जर्मनी, इट वॉज लिटिल बिट डिफिकल्ट फॉर मी बिकॉज मैं जब आया था, मैं 2021 में जर्मनी में आया था, एंड दैट ईयर इट वॉज कोविड. सो एवरीथिंग वॉज क्लोज्ड एंड आई डिड नॉट नो व्हाट टू एक्सपेक्ट. सब जगह पे बहुत ज़्यादा रेस्ट्रिक्शंस वगैरह थे. प्लस थोड़ा जब तुम शुरू में आते हो, the language barrier is really huge here. Matlab, in Germany, if you don't speak German, the bureaucracy is a little bit it's not a little bit, it's a lot difficult for you. So you need to be really prepared for the bureaucracy of the Germany. So first year mein, even like I came as a student, so university is there to help you. Plus जो तुम्हारे आजू बाजू के students होते हैं, they are also in the process with you. So it's not that difficult to complete the processes. So main two things are the education and the job. So if you are doing a job, for example, then I think the companies that you are coming through, they will help you through the most of the process. And if you're coming as a student, then the universities are the main places where the help will be coming from. Generally they explain you most of the things कि कहाँ पे जाना है, register कैसे करना है. So I think like one of the best skills that you can master here is the skill of patience. I mean यहाँ पे बहुत सारी चीज़ें बहुत slowly होती है, but you need to be very patient with it. ऐसा नहीं है कि तुम आज application करो कल आ जाएगा. You need to file it and then wait for I don't know months, weeks. बट ऐसा नहीं है कि तुमको छोड़ दिया जाएगा. लेट्स से फॉर एग्जांपल मेरा वीज़ा is getting expired in next 15 days, then they'll give me some temporary solution for another 2-3 months because मेरे पास appointment नहीं है, like actual visa के appointment नहीं है, तो like they will give you some other documents. ऐसा तुमको छोड़ नहीं दे देंगे. In the first month or first year you don't know how to deal with it. Like I think one of the best way to deal with it is just with the patience. Third thing about the education itself, yeah. So I don't think like if you are coming to do your masters, for example, there is something special. Especially for me, there was like something special. I thought it was like a general masters that you get. The main thing you come to Germany is for the exposure and speaking with the people and to see how the other country works and lives. That was also my purpose. I don't think like the education is anything special, I would say, unless there are like little bit difference here and there. That education here you can complete it at your own pace. Generally masters is for four semester, 2 years, right? If you find something else or you just wanted to pause for some time, you can take like a semester break for 6 months. Let's say you find some internship, you can take a semester break, go do that internship and come back and start rejoin the course again and complete your masters. I think this flexibility you do not get in India, which you get in Germany. Plus the another difference that you have is you need to complete a master thesis. India you just have the exams and you finish the exam, that's how you get your master's degree. But this is not the case here. You need to create a master thesis and defend your master thesis. That is one big difference than Indian education, Indian master system versus German master system. For me, finding job, I was like lucky because when I was trying to find an internship, I was trying to find internship, put my applications, I directly got the job instead of internship. I was looking for a job, but because of my experiences in India, I already had 2 years of job experience in India. So when I was applying for internship, the company that I was applying for, they asked me if I be open to accept the full-time job instead of internship. And in the grand scheme of things, I already wanted to do the job finally, so I naturally accepted the job. So it was not that difficult for me. But again, if I speak for the general people, it would be really easy for you if you speak the German language. If you don't speak the German language, it's going to be a little bit difficult because you don't get that edge over other people. There are so many Indians come every year. The HR, I have speak with many HR, even when I was applying for the job and all, they would tell me only one thing. If I was speaking German, it's like a B1 level, even like B1 level, that's just the conversational German. Even though I was able to understand the German completely, I do not have that confidence that I can speak with people, So that's the only thing that I've realized, that if you speak German, your chances of getting job will be very higher. The thing that I would like to speak will be the language barrier. In Germany, prominent language obviously is a German language. मैं पर्सनली जब जर्मनी आया था 2021 में, आई वांटेड टू फिनिश द जर्मन लेवल्स. तो उसके 6 लेवल्स होते हैं इन टोटल, A1, A2, B1, B2, C1 and C2. A1 being the easiest and C2 being the hardest. If you can speak B1 level of German, it would be really helpful for you. There will come some point where I will be leave everything and I will focus learning German language. अगर तुम्हें German बोलने को नहीं आती तो ऐसा नहीं है कि you cannot survive in Germany. You can survive in Germany, but your social life would not be that great, for example, because you will not be able to gel up with the local people here. तुम्हारे दोस्त जो भी होंगे वो भी तुम्हारे यूनिवर्सिटी से या फिर दूसरे कंट्री से होंगे. जर्मन दोस्त बनाना फिर थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है. Not that everybody wants to make German friends or anything, but it just helps with that aspect. Even in the job, there are very less companies who do not require German language. Agar if you are in the really niche field where speaking German is not mandatory, then you might get a job easily. But most of the companies, they require you to speak German. तो job मिलने के लिए या फिर job में further progress करने के लिए तुमको German आना बहुत ज़्यादा important है. That is my realization now more and more. तो I would say India में like German सीखना, it's little bit easier than in Germany. Because thoda sa foundation if you prepare in India, then if you come here and start learning, that will be more helpful rather than learning whole German here. So my advice to you would be that you should start learning German when you are in India. Even when somebody can take 6 months or they prolong coming to Germany for 6 months, learn the proper German and then come. So to summarize the language thing, I would highly suggest you that if you have time, learn at least like B1 level of German in India and then come. If you are in the hurry and you still want to come without learning language, it's fine, but it's gonna be a little bit difficult for you to find a job. First thing first, to find a job and to make friends, but it's not like it's impossible or anything. I myself did it like that way. I did not speak German, but I was able to get the job, also able to get the friends, so it's not that difficult. But if you learn it, the life will be much more easier for you. Another thing that I would like to discuss is the food. In Germany you might not find the authentic Indian food getting served everywhere, but in my case I really like to go to gym, measure my calories, what kind of food I'm eating. So I feel like the food quality in Germany is way much better than in India. I mean, it's like I don't want to be critical about India, but the thing is like the food quality in Germany is good. I was able to eat like less refined food. The food regulation is more stricter here, so that you do not find the food with like excess amount of sodium, excess amount of fat. Because I wanted to improve my body in every direction, and you will see this on my channel that I really preach fitness, and I wanted to eat the clean food. So food was not a big problem for me. But if you are somebody who likes to eat the Indian food, authentic Indian food, then you will need to learn it by yourself. Another thing that people need to deal with is the homesickness. In my case, I was already living away from my parents or my hometown. So I was living in Mumbai, and I come from another place called Baramati. It's both the things are in Maharashtra. But because I was already living away from my parents, that was not a big issue for me. Like homesickness was not a big issue for me. I already know how it feels to live away from your parents, or how to live away from your friends. And so for me, in my personal ways, it was not really difficult for me. But if you are someone who has never lived away from their parents or their friends, that might be the case that you need to consider. And again, the best way to deal with the homesickness is to develop a routine around your life, and you have like a particular goals in mind, have a schedule, and then you will not feel the homesickness. Or maybe if you feel it for like 1 or 2 weeks, especially during the winters, if you're coming in winter semester, it might feel like you get homesickness because there are not many people outside, or there are not friends continuously who you can connect without. So the best way to deal with the homesickness is to get involved in as many activities as possible in your universities. Focus on your studies, develop your goals outside the studies also, not just the studies, and then focus on them. I think this will help you to beat homesickness. And anyways, just remember that is a phase which lasts for like 1 or 2 or 3 weeks maximum, and then it will go away. Homesickness is not a big issue, in my opinion. One thing many of my friends wonder also, or like the people around have asked me, is that is there a racism in Germany? Trust me when I say this, I have faced more classism in India than racism in Germany. I've been living in Germany now for 3+ years, and I think I have rarely faced any kind of racism. I might have faced like one or two people, but people in general are very nice to you. You all, everywhere, if somebody has faced the racism, it's just because there are like 1 or 2% people, bad people, everywhere you find them. So I don't think that in general there is any kind of racism. 99% people are very nice. I have never faced any kind of racism since 4 years in Germany. Might have been 1 or 2 times that I've faced it, but I think like that's like just the exception. These kind of people exist everywhere. There is like no sort of racism in Germany. Obviously, whenever you're walking in the, let's say, cities and the best places, you might get eyes that you get everywhere because you are somebody who is new, different, so you get those eyes, like you get it in India and everywhere. Like that is more of a fascination towards some person than the racism. So I don't think there exists like a systematic or outright racism in Germany. That's my opinion, and that's my experience, that I have never faced like 1 or 2 times, but that's very normal and you will face it everywhere. One more aspect that I would like to cover is the cost of living. I'm not gonna go like in the depth, but I just wanted to give you the hint of it. If you are living in the East Germany, except for Berlin, of course Berlin is the capital of Germany, but except for Berlin, East Germany is way more cheaper than the South Germany or the West Germany. In my opinion, I have lived in the East Germany, so my university was in this city called Dresden. It was way more cheaper there than the place that I'm currently living. I live now in the South Germany, which is like Munich, and here the cost of living is the most expensive. जैसे कि India में we have like say a biscuit pouch that you are buying in the Delhi will be having the same price as Maharashtra, but in Germany it is not mandatory for everyone, like every product to have same price everywhere. So even the milk they sell in the East Germany cheaper and they sell it more expensive in the South Germany. Create this like differences because in the South Germany there are many industries. Basically the automotive industries are in the South Germany, and because of the World War era there was like this East-West divide, and West Germany has like more capitalism, they got more money. That's why the West Germany is a little bit more expensive than the East Germany. When I was living in East Germany, the cost of the house was like little bit less. Like I was paying only 300 euros as a student in the student dorm, but in like South Germany 600 euro is the start of the rent. Like that's where the rents are starting. And I was when I was in East Germany, like in my university days, I was sharing it with only 2 other people and I was paying 300 euro rent. But in West Germany I was sharing my room with the 6 other people and still the rent was 600 euro. That was really a little bit of a shock for me, to be honest, that how expensive South Germany is in comparison to the East Germany. Apart from that, if I would highly recommend that if you are not aiming for particular university because it will give you some advantages, then I would say like you should optimize for the money, not for the courses. If that's your first preference, go for the courses. If not, go for the money and go for the East German universities. That's just my opinion. That's what I did. And if I wanted to give you like the rough amount, how much money you would need in the East Germany versus West Germany or like South Germany. In East Germany, the cost of living for me was around 800 euros per month. That was the maximum that I could. That was like really in the maximum amount. 300 euro was for the rent, 100 euro was for the health insurance, and 200 euros for the groceries and the other miscellaneous. So including everything, I was at max I was spending 800 euros. But if you are living in like let's say Munich, where getting the dorms are very difficult, here the cost would like the 600 to 700 euros will be the cost just for your rent, and on the top 200 euros for the groceries, 100 euros for the health insurance and the other stuff. So it gets very expensive in the West Germany or like South Germany. So you can consider this while coming to Germany. One more really good aspect about living in Germany is the public transport is so good in Germany that you do not need like a car. Currently in Germany they have something called as Deutschland ticket, which like 60 euros you can have unlimited travel in the country. 60 euro is around 6,000 Indian rupees, and with 6,000 Indian rupees in the month you can travel unlimited. And it might sound a lot, 6,000 rupees, but trust me, it is nothing. But if you wanted to have the car, it's like a little bit expensive. To get the driving license in Germany, it requires 3,000 euros. So 3 lakh Indian rupees, very high. And that one of the things that I really like about Germany is that there is a huge fitness culture in Germany. I have seen the people in their 90s, 90 साल के लोग भी बहुत अच्छे से स्विमिंग वगैरह कर लेते हैं, and they like to walk around. The walking culture is huge in Germany. You can go everywhere walking, everywhere. Like, you do not the cities are very walkable. They have created the cities in such a way that you can reach from one place to another place while walking, you know. India में जैसे let's say पुणे वगैरह में आप हो main, like in the main squares or every place, the cities are not walkable, you know. That's the problem that we have. The cities needs to be walkable. You cannot have the walking culture in India the way that it has been planned. And the reason why the European houses, they look so pretty, the slanting and the small houses, is because I have realized that there is a rules in Germany whereby you have to take a permission from the local authorities how your exterior would look like. You cannot just, because it's your house, you cannot build it however you want, you know. You can do the changes interior, but out exteriors are already planned by the government, so you can't do, and that's why they look very beautiful. In Europe, my experience with the German people are, they are very punctual. The people in Germany are very ethical also. I think, like, following the rules and going by the system has been so ingrained in their mind that they do not deviate from the rules, don't like to break the rules and go in the another way. The system has been given to them and they always follow the system. That's what I realize. Sometimes it's really good thing, most of the time, but sometimes it might be like, for us, especially from India, where we have so much habit of deviating from the rules, it might be a little bit annoying. Their ethics and their morals, very good level, right? It has been like a stereotype that German people are rude people, but and to some extent it might be true, but I think the problem is how the German language has been spoken. Because I was learning German, the actual way of saying things in German are very direct, and when they try to translate that German language into English, it might sound like direct, you know, and that's why it might sound a little bit rude. I feel they are not actually rude, but just the way they are speaking their language, they are translating directly, and that's why it sounds a little bit rude. They actually are not rude. That's what I think. Sounds a little bit rude. Otherwise, they are not rude, in my opinion. They don't like anything, they like to complain about everything, but that's like generalizing, it's always not good. So yeah, that was the experience of mine for last 3 years. It definitely was not the easiest of journey, but it helped me to learn so many things about myself. I hope that this information and this experience that I shared with you is helpful to you. If you have any doubts, any queries, you can put down in the comments below and I will try to help you with this. Thank you so much for watching this video and please subscribe to my channel. Bye.